Hey love, welcome in. This is the Sunday Soother where we take a look at the current energy of the collective, what people seem to be moving through, experiencing, expanding into, and we go into an explanation and a debrief and a meditation. So I will timestamp below when the meditation starts in case you want to go straight into that. But the theme for this week at the moment, and this is fairly timeless, so when you find this it will be right for you. This is about getting into that creating space, that ability to feel like you're thinking in a way that brings about what it is that you want to receive, so that it's that receivership mechanism, that energy, that frequency. Do you ever get that sense that you're frustrated because you're kind of standing in your own way? Like, I know that I'm thinking in a particular way or I'm feeling in a particular way, which is perpetuating that experience that I'm having. I'm continuing to draw to myself, or I'm fearful that I know how powerful that particular chain of thought is to bringing about that particular experience that I don't want into my life. And we worry about this manifestation process. And this is about you acknowledging that you are human and it is okay. And that part of this whole thing of moving from where we are right now to where we want to go is noticing that there's value in all of it. It's not that we're not in the right place and we're trying to get to the right place. This is a constant flow where we get to experience understanding how we peel back the layers, how we get better at certain things, how we learn to let go and surrender and offer and accept and receive and give and have that ease. It's the joy of that process that's as much a part of it as anything else. And I think we get so hung up on getting everything exactly right that we then put ourselves in that panic that I'm not going to align with what it is that I want because I'm too much in this energy of fear or assuming it's going to go a certain way, even though on some level I believe it can be different. It's just not getting yourself all tied up in knots. This is about you knowing it's completely okay for you to be in that space of I'm acknowledging there's doubt and there's fear or there's obstacles, and I'd really like to get over there. Really like over there to come over here. I'd really like to attract into my life this capacity or this particular thing or this person or this experience, whatever it might be. It's going to soften the edges if we can let it be here. Let the doubts come, let the fears come. Know that these are little pieces of the debris that are coming away, coming loose from everything that we've been experiencing. This is us shaking stuff up. This is a really good sign that things are starting to move towards us, and those things can move towards us even if there's obstacles in the way. The obstacles aren't the problem. Our resistance to the obstacles are the problem. So if we say, you know what, it's fine. That's finding its way out. That's working out the kinks. That's just me shifting my way through. It's really important that I understand what's been getting in the way so that I can keep lovingly soothing it and just sending it on its way. Yeah, that's how it was. But the thing is, I'm so ready for it to not be that. I so believe in the possibility of what else can come to me. So the meditation is very much about releasing that resistance by not putting this pressure on yourself to get everything perfect, and by knowing that you can be conjuring up this sense of, oh, I really want to invite more of this feeling or this experience or that experience. Remembering that it's always an outcome feeling that we're trying to get to, and it's our brains that orchestrate a story of, oh, I want to feel like this, therefore we should probably aim to achieve this goal and this goal in order to get to that feeling place. There's so many different ways to get to that feeling place. So you will be there waiting to get to that feeling place, bringing that about, believing in its possibility, and at the same time your brain will go, oh, by the way, there is this little thing that gets in the way of that and this little thing. And if we can say, you know, it's really useful to know that because I don't want to believe that anymore, or I don't want to feel that anymore. You have already set that intention. That drive is already happening. That momentum is already going on. So you're not going to stop that train. It's things can still come in while the debris is floating and drifting and dissipating and easing out. So as you're aware of what it is that you're getting into, that which used to be in the way of you getting it is going to come loose, and you're going to be aware of it, and that's fine. It can be drifting away, and we can be aware of it and with it and present at the same time as this new coming in. So let's get into the meditation. And I'm going to just put this on as an audio so that we can just get into it, and wishing you a beautiful rest of your week. And I hope you enjoy this meditation. Bringing ourselves now into the space of receiving, creating this expansion within that allows new possibilities to present themselves, new opportunities. Just being aware that we're going to move through the different feeling states of that. And it's completely okay if we don't go straight into, I'm completely open, I'm completely ready, I'm feeling resonant with things being able to come in and land, the kind of life that I want to live, the kind of things that I want to experience, the connections, the health, the money, whatever it might be. Before we move into that expansive space, the mind is going to bring about all these other aspects of doubt. And these are the fragments. These are the parts that, if we make room for them, the tension from them will soften and ease. As we allow and bring ourselves compassion and understanding for what it is to be human, we soften the edges of that tension so that the impact on the vibration and the frequency and the existence that we're in begins to ease and open. So just close your eyes. Find yourself a place to be. Let yourself feel supported wherever you are, whether you're sitting up straight and just allowing the earth underneath you to hold you, or maybe you're lying down or going for a walk, whatever you want to do. We're going to start just for a moment with this sense of, what is it that you're yearning for? What is the feeling of that which you are moving towards? Something in you that you would really want to experience as an emotional state. What are you wanting to invite more? Maybe more peace, flow, a feeling of being secure, self-sufficiency, a sense of trusting oneself, relief, connection, unconditional love, belonging. Just take a little moment and think through all of those and others that land with you. Where is it that you are feeling connected with going towards and inviting more in? And what do they feel like as you think of the words? Because you'll automatically imagine the scenarios for what may be precursors to those kind of emotional states, and your mind won't be able to help but start to create logic and stories around how we get to these places, what we would need to be in place. And our minds may even present us with the things that get in the way, the reasons why somewhere in the world we believe that those things are going to be hard to get to, that we may struggle, or that maybe they're not even possible. So as you just breathe, just working through that notion of What are those feelings? And as I begin to conjure up those emotional essences in my body, where does my mind and my logic go with anything that stands in the way of that? And all the while there's the pulsing of the breath. Always a constant, always steady. And I like to sometimes just focus on one part of my body that's the center of a circle that's going to expand out beyond the edges of my physical body with every breath. And then contract back into that central point. Just encouraging and inviting this gentle rhythm as we contemplate, without judgment, without analysis, just to be curious and just to notice. And that it's okay for us to register what are the things that feel like they are in the way. What are the things that present the barriers? Is it a logical argument about something? Is it a belief about what's possible? Is it a sense of self? How we feel about our own capabilities or what might be possible for us? Or is it a feeling state that gets in the way, providing that paralysis in being able to move forward into that next expansion? Just keep doing the breathing as you mull this over. Again, without pushing it away. This is a safe space for you to explore. Considering these things is not negative. It doesn't draw anything to you. It's you sitting with those things, allowing yourself to understand them better, to soften the edges of them. And know that as you're taking in the breath and letting the breath go, with that feeling of the pulsing, you're actually moving the energy in your body anyway, making new space, creating a new base. And I want you to know that you don't have to get rid of anything in order to make that next shift. You don't need to be past something or clear of something. Everything can begin to find its way to you as you are growing into your next space, as you are integrating tiny sparks of new possibilities and potentials. So it isn't your job to get rid of them. What we're doing is we're just making some room for them to be around whilst they're working their way out, whilst you're learning your way through to pastures new. And knowing that as we take the pressure off, this gives your analytical mind the strength and the power and the resources that it needs to come up with things that give you those inspired actions, those ideas of what to do next or how to move forward with that next step. Or you may just find a quiet message coming through, an affirmation, a mantra. Maybe, I believe in new possibilities. I understand and am delighted by the idea of prosperity. I am so ready for this expansion. So ready to remember that every time I'm offering something, exchanging something, I am also receiving. So every time I'm paying a bill, I'm receiving something in return. I'm receiving those services. Whatever it is that bill pays for, I receive those goods into my life and into my experience. And maybe you are thinking, I love the idea of a deeper human connection. Or I love the potential for me to have a deeper relationship with myself. I'm recognizing my own capacity and capability, and that I am an expansive human being. So let's just take one of those things that maybe in your mind has been the niggle, the doubt, the obstacle, the thing in the way, the barrier, whatever it might be, whether it's a thing or a belief or an attitude, something that you feel is just there, and maybe you've been trying to get rid of it. And we're going to invite it in. And imagine that I'm not threatened by you, that you're just a thought, just an old way of thinking, just a little bit of the ego trying to protect. I'm going to say right now in this moment, it's okay for you to be here. I know you're figuring it out. I know you're just moving parts. I know you're unwinding, and the little aspects of you are softening around the edge. And I know that I'm here to tend to you in a loving and compassionate way. And that as I allow you to be here, and yet acknowledge that you don't need to be the aspect taking charge, I already feel more open. I already feel more expansive. I already know that amazing miracles can happen, and that things can happen so quickly in the space of seconds or minutes, hours. And that there is an aspect of me believing in this new expansive possibility where I am that, where I am experiencing that, where I am welcoming that in. And it's exciting to know that that does happen, because we are manifesting every single thing that we experience every single minute of the day. We are that powerful. And that which we turn our attention to, we can tune to, and we can co-create. We can weave this experience, and also leaving room for this element of surprise and wonder and awe, because the way in which life and the universe packages up that which we want to feel and delivers us this amazing set of circumstances or things or this person or whatever it might be, but so often it's a version that's something you never could have anticipated or engineered or even imagined. That's where we get that sprinkling of magic. And you can just think back to a time when you have been in a place where something has come into your life, and in that moment you didn't actually manipulate the parts in that moment to bring that together. You may have been thinking it would be really lovely to maybe get a new job, or I'd love to meet a partner, or I'd love to meet a friend, or I'd love more connection. Whatever it might be, there will have been a time in your life where you happened to be in the right place at the right time, where something went entirely not the way you had planned for it to go, and then ended up being so much better. Or that you were in a place at a time where you ended up lining up with something that ended up being integral, monumental, important to you in your life. We typically don't meet our best friends on a day where we decided, today's the day I'm going to go out there and make that happen. We're open in all these other ways, and we end up being a magnet, drawing those experiences towards us, not always having to go out and hunt them down. Breathe. Imagine that you can be just as you are, and the magic can still come and find you. This is like a transition, it's a bridge. You're moving into this new integrated version of yourself where you're allowing so much more to come in. You're expanding to new possibilities, things that are beyond your wildest imagination. And it's okay that these little fragments of being human and the bits that are leaving you, that were there before, that aren't going to be there anymore, they're starting to come loose. So they're ready to drift away, to dissipate, to dilute. And as they're doing so, sometimes they catch our attention, and that's okay. So with that breathing, moving beyond the surface of your skin, the circle being bigger than you, let's let it go even bigger. Expanding and becoming so much more vast with every breath. As we venture forwards, as we're moving, and knowing that those initial intentions that we set spark this momentum, they begin a journey, they begin something that has a drive to it and a force behind it that we can't stop. No matter how much we doubt, no matter how much we stand in our own way, this is bigger than that. And you might start to imagine the small fragments moving around, as well as you imagine this bright light of possibility not being something that is new to us or that is finally coming, but something that's always been there. It's always been there, shining brightly, like a bright torch underneath us that has just had something covering it. And all we're doing by changing and shifting and opening up to this new potential as a concept is we're starting to move that cover away. And so the light that's always been shining, that's always been a funnel, an inlet and an outlet, is becoming clearer. The pipes are getting wider. And the light that's coming in bears the frequency of those emotional outcomes that you feel drawn to receive. So bring that feeling in now, whatever it is that you know, whatever collaboration it is that you're inviting in to be yours. Bring it in now, just in concept, just in theory, because you'll know it. You'll know how that's going to feel and what that will be. And let that just move more brightly into who you are and what this is. That you're shining a light of direction as well for your intentions to grow and flourish and find their way to manifestation. That I am open to these best possible outcomes. I am here for this transition. I am opening up to it, and I can feel the feeling state of moving through. And this place that I'm in, where I'm aware of this new bright energy coming in, and at the same time I'm aware of the fragments of the barriers, the obstacles, they are my learning points, they are my growth points, and I'm aware that they are around. And the fact that they're moving, that's me growing, that's me reshaping, that's the transformation coming in. So I don't even need to do anything with them. I can notice them passing me by, I can see them coming in, I can sense them, and I can just say, oh yes, well of course. There are the fragments finding their way through. That's so great that they're doing that. They're finding their way out, they're moving, they're shifting, they're changing. And meanwhile, I'm just breathing in more of the new, breathing in more of the possibility, inviting these next rounds of experiences, and I'm excited for them, and they feel right and they feel familiar because they have always been there in that light shining away. I've just not been able to feel them, but I'm feeling them now. And as I feel them in this moment, in this energy, I'm creating this portal for them to come in and manifest in my physical, tangible experience. So feel the reality of that, the real, raw, absolute, that you are experiencing that right now. And it already exists for you. It's already finding its way. And nothing can stop that from coming in. And the more you feel this merging of the new potential with the old coming away, the more you know you're going the right way. So take that with you, take it forward. Know that you can be conscious in your awareness of what's coming in and out of your mind, what feeling states you're in, and just inquire and be curious and be compassionate with yourself, and just allow things to be there, knowing that that in itself helps them to soften and break and move. So when you're ready, you can just bring yourself all the way up and back into your day, integrating this huge expanded conscious space with this everyday now that you're in, and let that magic merge. So this comes with all the love, and I'll see you at the next one.